I am hitting the button. Gotta wait. Testing out the new microphone. There we go. Just making sure we're live on Facebook. You guys should be able to hear me. I know I'm not just talking to myself. Oh, there we go. Ta-da! Let me get my drink. Make sure I got everything. For the most part. I'm testing 1, 2. Let me know if somebody's in chat for me. Let's see who's going to be the first one here to test things. I'm trying to figure out a good place to put chat. I don't really have a good place to put it right now. But just a little impromptu studio testing. You know what? I probably need to configure this to have chat over here. Hey, Henry. How's it going? You're on YouTube. It's not very often you see YouTube chatters. I just heard the Discord notification go out. Here we go. Let me make sure my audio. Okay. Can you hear me, Henry? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. You know what? I can just go to our channel and see if I'm making noise. Hollering. Hey, this audio sounds pretty good. Testing 1, 2.
Hey, this audio sounds pretty good.
There we go. Hey, MG Photo. It is Monday. How is the audio? Is the audio okay? I think I have it in stereo mode. Sounds good? Okay. Solid blue. Hold on. Can you hear any like ambient noise? Like there's this light above me that's making some noise. I just don't know if it's picking up on camera. Hey, Roger. I got a new camera. It's right here. You can see it on the screen. It's from Hollyland, so I'm testing it out. You don't hear the light noise? Okay. I'm gonna turn on noise canceling and see what happens. I don't think it's gonna change much, but okay. I just turned on noise cancellation, so let me see what it sounds like.
I just turned on noise cancellation, so let me see what it sounds like.
I'm not an audiophile either, so I don't know.
I'm not an audiophile either, so I don't know.
It sounds pretty good, in my opinion. I don't know if there's a difference. I don't know if there's a difference between noise cancellation and non-noise cancellation at the moment, so I am unsure. Testing 1, 2. I'm just gonna test the audio so I can hear it myself.
Testing 1, 2. I'm just gonna test the audio so I can hear it myself.
Hey, it doesn't sound much different, but I figured there's not a lot of sound going on in here, so yeah. Does it have a James Earl modem? So is the camera or mic on the hat? The camera is above me, right here. So the camera's above me, but you can see I can poke my head in. The microphone is attached to my hat because it's really difficult for me with my beard to have a lav mic like on me because my beard brushes against it all the time. So I'm testing just to see if this will work. This is it's pretty discreet, like microphone wise, and so it's just a little clip on, and the receiver is all the way in where the computer is. So I'm sending the signal all the way over there to where the computer is. So it's wireless. But But I was just checking the quality of this mic, and I think it's pretty good from what I can tell. Yeah, I do this. I can do this when I play marbles. Oh, I just turn it on and it's good to go. But yeah. But welcome. It's just Monday. You know, I've spent most of the morning, like cleaning up some stuff and doing things around the studio. Went and talked to Ron about tickets. So after this stream, I'm gonna put out a post and a news update about tickets going on sale next Monday, I think, the 5th. So it's 7 days from now. That's when tickets will go on sale. And we'll probably do it at noon. So I gotta send an email to Tabletop Events and tell them to have some extra servers for us when tickets go on sale for classes and games and stuff. Just for that initial rush. But I really wanted to test out this new microphone and new camera setup. Oh, speaking of that, I need to get in a comfortable position to where my hat's not poking in and out. But you can see I'm pretty zoomed out pretty far. So I can zoom in. And then I have this pretty nifty zoom button. So I have it set up to where I can zoom in and out. So you can see I'm pretty in there. So if we're looking at something up close, I can have it pretty on the money. Just got to make sure that it focuses pretty good. But we'll go back to main. I'll turn on the camera here in a second, and I'll show you kind of what I'm working with over here. I'm just cleaning up some of this brush holder because I'm getting the brush holder ready to hold all these brushes for Anne. Because I don't think Anne's bringing her own brushes. I don't think. She hasn't really told me, but I'm just making sure she has stuff while she's here when she's in town. And this is a digital zoom, so I don't have to do it on the camera. Like, I don't have to do this all the time, reach up and like zoom in and out manually. So this is as far as I go with this lens. So I zoom in, and then I digitally have buttons that I can zoom in and out with, like that, to get a little bit closer onto things. So yeah, just cleaning up this brush holder real quick. You know what? I'll show you on the camera real quick. I'll show you. Oh, this 1 second. We'll do iPad to X3. There we go. So you can see this is kind of what I've been working with all morning. They're getting all the paints ready in the thing. Up above is where the camera is. So the camera is on this like big metal rig right there, right above us, with a big softbox light. And then I have glue, basing stuff, blue tack. There's how I'm able to see myself over there. Just getting everything ready. Oh, look how close that can get. That can get pretty close. It's pretty insane how close this camera gets. It's pretty good. Pretty good camera. Boop. Hey, Michael. Welcome. We'll see. Just testing out some cool new stuff, especially this new microphone. The new microphone's kind of the big thing. And then I wanted to mess around with some of the cool little things here. I'm trying to wait. I'm not imposing on Rhonda's time, right? Rhonda's done. Rhonda streamed already. If I remember correctly, I was here. I think I would know. That's funny. Is the sound only coming from one speaker? It might be, Carol. Hold on one second. Let me. I'm. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so I have this new microphone. I might have it set to mono. Let me go see. You should be able to still hear me, but the receiver's all the way in the computer room, so I need to go change it. I don't know if it's on stereo or mono. I gotta check the paperwork. Okay. Receiver. Solid green is mono mode. Solid blue is stereo mode. Do I want mono or stereo? Okay, I'll change it just to see what happens. Okay. I changed it, I think. Let me know if you guys hear anything. Okay. Is that it? Okay. So, solid green is mono mode. So I'm on mono mode right now, not stereo. Okay. So it seems to be the opposite, I think, of what so the transmitter buttons, when I hold down the buttons, it changes between the different modes. And right now it's solid green, which on the paperwork says mono mode, but so it says solid green is mono mode, but that's sounds better to you guys, so that's good. Hope you guys are having a good Monday. Oh, so I might need to adjust. Anne won't have a hat on, but you can kind of see my hat poking out right here in the front. So I might have to tilt the camera up a little bit, but it won't matter at this point when I zoom in, because my hat's not in the way as much. So I just have to sit up straight and not lean forward as much. So have you considered they were high while writing the instructions? Oh, maybe. Am I sure if Anna's gonna have enough time? I am unsure. I don't know exactly what her full plans are, but I have this streaming setup ready. I've been wanting to make it anyway, and Anne was just an excuse for me to get it done, as you can see. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And she's not here for very long. Like, she's here from Thursday to like Wednesday. It's not a long time. So yeah. I know she won't be here until I think Thursday. I think she flies in Wednesday night. So but it's just nice to have this setup available for, like, I'm going to be using it to record videos coming up, or at least that's my plan. That's what I want to do. Obviously. There's always plans. But yeah. I don't know all that information. I think Ron has all that information, to be honest. She's been communicating with Ron about her trip here. I don't know much about it. Break into his phone again? Yeah. Okay. So I got my brush holder put together. I'm just going to do a little dry fit. Did y'all see the table setup? It's feeling pretty nice, the camera. Especially because this is fully zoomed in on the lens, and the audio sounds good. This microphone's audio is pretty decent. I was quite surprised. And for anybody that's joining late, the microphone is here. I got a new microphone. You can see it right there. Clip to the hat. And I got it clipped to the hat because my beard. It's really hard to do stuff with my beard. So there's that. But I haven't fully zoomed in with the lens here, but I can digitally zoom. So I have digital zooms built in for whenever you want to get up and close to things. And then you can go back. Ta-da! Why is this one having a hard time? I have done beard ornaments. I have done beard stuff around Christmas. I did glitter beard a couple years ago. I did ornaments one year. I might for Halloween this year do Blackbeard. Dave gave me the idea on Saturday or on Friday. He made a Blackbeard comment, and I was like, that'd be cool to do photos. Do a little Blackbeard thing and put fuses and stuff in my beard. Glitterbeard was an online trend that happened a couple years ago. Why is this having such a hard time going in? That's what she said. Is everybody having a good Monday, though? Otherwise? I had a pretty good weekend, pretty eventful. My brother is having their first baby, and she could go into labor at any moment now. So we're just kind of we're in a holding pattern right now, waiting to hear the news. Oh, it's Migraine Monday. Rip. I got to take my GLP shot today. I need to figure out a different thing for the for chat, for whenever we're sitting here reading chat. It's not in the optimal position at the moment. Quintuplets? Oh, that'd be brutal. My fiance in her family has a bunch of twins, so we're scared that if we do get pregnant, it will be most likely twins. Most likely. That's a pretty high chance. I have too many brushes for this little brush holder. I might have to get another brush holder. Or find another solution. Yeah, there's too many brushes. I just grabbed every brush we made. Spoiler alert. Look at that arsenal. Boop. Where's my drink? There it is. Training videos and reading from MG Photo. You know, I like learning. Learning's fun. All right, let's go back out. Zoop. So we got a brush holder with some brushes. I have all the filing sticks. I'm starting to gather, like, I got my paint pokies right here for poke and paint. I didn't get our, like, actual paint pokies, but I figured this foam block would be nice to start putting them in. I'll go grab them and do stuff with them. I got the Vortex mixer. I don't think you guys will be able to hear it on stream, but it's right here. Let me know. Can y'all hear this? It's pretty quiet. I don't think you'll be able to hear it. Barely. Yeah, it's very faint. Let me see. Faint. Let me see. Faint. Oh, you can slightly hear it. Here it is. You can slightly hear it. Here it is. You can slightly hear it. Here it is. There's gonna be some audio, but audio doing that. I wonder here. Let me turn on noise cancellation. All right. It should still be in stereo. Let me know if it's not. But let's see if noise cancellation does anything. Hmm. Oh, yeah, it did. Did the sound? You couldn't hear it at all now, right? Judging by the audio? Wow. That noise cancellation is pretty good, huh? So that's with noise cancellation on. This is with it off. All right, noise cancellation is off. So okay, you can slightly hear the Vortex mixer, but with noise cancellation on, you can't hear it at all. That's pretty cool. Nifty. Neato. But yeah. All right. I guess I can show y'all really quick for people that are just joined. If you haven't seen what I've been working on, let's do this. We'll do here we go. So this is the setup currently with all the paints. So I have the camera on this truss up here. So we have this big metal truss. I have the lights lighting the green screen behind me. That's the face cam up there. And then we have all the paints with like super glue, basing stuff, blue tack, and I got to start organizing all these drawers, like what goes in there, filing sticks and water. I got my hobby saw. Yeah, this is it. Still kind of a work in progress, but it's coming together. Pretty neat. So it feels pretty nice. Got to figure out where chat and stuff's gonna go. Right now, I have chat right there, and it's not in a good position. So I'm probably going to hang it up there. So it's just off like right here. So that way, when you look up to read chat, you can also kind of see eye line with the text. But yeah. Ta-da. Top down. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty neat. But I'm glad I've been looking at this microphone for a while, and I've been wanting to get it for a while. And it comes with one transmitter, so I can have two people using it. But I also wanted to get this for my phone. So like when I start recording videos with my phone, for like TikToks and things like that, I can use this and not like phone audio or anything like that. Hey Freya, welcome. Are you coming to ReaperCon this year? Oh, I'm out of focus. Hello, focus. There. I don't know why it wasn't focusing. Because you didn't come to ReaperCon last year, did you? So, was testing the camera quality and stuff, trying to get it good. And this is kind of the wide view of everything, but then you zoom in, and I'm trying to figure out where the center is. I think it's like roughly right here, or like right here. This little square. Is that center? It's pretty close. And so far I've been liking these little things, but I'm going to try to find a different hobby holder. The one that is like good for me. Because this is just a little small one that comes with these racks. But yeah. And then you can test the zoom. So if you need to get a little bit closer. Right here. Let me center my chair. And center the camera. Okay. I try to have everything in a straight line. So the face cam is straight on. The overhead camera is basically almost straight on with us down the middle of this line right here. I might need to move the main camera over, the top down, over a little bit. But it's like this. So that's one zoom, and then this is the second zoom. So I can digitally zoom in to get a little bit closer. So the quality is pretty decent. It's a little blurry. There it is. So it needs to focus a little bit, and I think having this brown like handle helps the camera pick up autofocus. You said digital zoom is poo. I guess it really only matters if the quality, because this is a 4K video feed, but the problem I'm having is trying to keep the focus. So, creates artifacts. Can you see them on the screen? Because let's go back to main. This is just no digital zoom with the fully zoomed camera focal length on this camera lens. It is a little funky, yeah, okay. I think zoom 1 is good. Like zoom 1 is still pretty decent. I just have to... it also helps that this is a gray. It doesn't help that this is a gray model on a gray background, but it's still fine. Ta-da! I'm gonna go grab a painted model. One of us. I'm pleased with this microphone. I'm pretty pleased with how this microphone turned out, to be honest. And I could still turn on 2 more lights. Does it seem a little dark? Right now I can see there's a lot of shadows right here. So there's a lot of shadows underneath. But with that softbox coming from up above, it helps. But I can turn on 2 more lights on the left and right. I don't know if they're super needed, but... Yeah. But painting, like if I was going to paint, right, I could feel... like that looks pretty decent to me, like quality wise and angle wise. Like this is the angle that I would paint at, looking at it with the light face down. But then I guess if you wanted to see where shadows were with certain lighting, you could treat this as like a above light. Daryl did a good job on this paint job too. This is probably one of my favorite paint jobs he's done. Like, I really like this texture with all like the dirt and like scuffed up paint job and everything like that. This kind of tarnished like brass. It's really good. This is probably one of my favorite paint jobs he's done. It's pretty epic. Whee! Your camera's about 18 inches from the mat. Okay, well, let's see. And what kind of focal, like what kind of lens do you got? You said 18 inches? Is that what you said? Yeah. Okay, this is, so from the tip of the lens to the table, it's 27 inches. So it's 27 inches. But I can't get any closer with this metal truss system that we have. This is the lowest that it can go. So I just need to get a different type of lens, because I think this is a 16 to 24, I believe. So getting a different size. Yeah, MG's our cameraman. Yeah, what should be my focal length and stuff? I don't know all my millimeters and wide angles and things like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's the lens I have, so I put it in closer. Oh, you have a 16 to 24 or 16? Let me actually double check. 16 to 35 millimeter. This is a 16 to 35. And so right now this is at 16, and then I can go to 35. So 35 is pretty good. 35 is a good. I would like to go a little bit closer. Maybe like 35 to 50, 35 to 75. I would like a 35 to like 75. 24 to 70 may be better range for this if you want to get closer. Yeah, I think so. 24 to 70. I'd have to look at all the lenses we have. I don't think I have one like that. But like on my iPad right now, and I'm assuming most people are watching on a computer, maybe. Some of you guys might be watching on a phone, but watching at a computer, like on my iPad over here just next to me, and I'm assuming watching on a screen, it will look pretty decent. Like you can still see what's going on the screen right here. But this model is also bigger, so bigger models also help. Like if I just took him, you see he's pretty good. Like this guy's big though, so he's easy to pick up. But when you're painting something like this, you want to get a little bit closer, kind of. You think? Methinks you want to get a little bit closer. Mm-hmm. Now, if it was up to me, it would be 100 to 500 millimeters. Go big or go home. I have a 100 millimeter macro lens, but my problem with the macro lens right now is it's good for photography. It's not good for like live video because the focal depth is very finicky, right? It's very precise. Like if you go and it doesn't have autofocus. So if I go a difference in like up and down, it just goes in and out of focus. But that's why I like autofocus, because I figured, for me at least, if I was painting, I feel like I'm going to be going up and down a lot, like looking at it, prepping it, getting up close underneath the light. So yeah. Yeah, video, yeah, it needs to be autofocus. The biggest thing about lighting for painting is, will you have light on it regardless of the angle you're painting from and the funk of the angle to that light. The best part of the big camera lens is you can go big and go home. Yeah. The biggest thing about lighting for painting is, will you have light on it regardless of the angle? Right now, I just have it from the back, like my left and right behind me and above. So I could probably turn these on. I think it will help to turn these two big ones on above me to get lighting from this direction and this direction. Like that. You can kind of see there's some shadows back here. But lighting overall is pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with this box lighting. It's a good light. But overall, I'm pretty pleased. I think Anne will like it, I hope. I need to work out a palette camera, or how to get her palette in. I know that she likes to paint on her stream where she has her palette just above, her, like, let me zoom out. So like she would have her palette like up here, like right here. And then she would be painting down here where the camera's like right here. And so she's painting right here. And then when she I know she pulls it down a little bit so it's in frame, but I could have a separate camera like on the palette itself, and put it somewhere. the cool thing I like about this setup is the setup that I've always been doing with Reaper nowadays. Oh, I gotta plug this back in. Or the iPad's gonna die. 1 second. Is I like being able to pull things up. So like if I'm looking at reference, like for instance, we're gonna be looking at Graveyard concepts. So, well, I think that's what we'll go into next, maybe. So, let's see, 2 feet by 2 feet. But I like being able to like pull things up. So like if I do this, I can have an iPad over here to look up references and things and look up people's Discords. And, you know, people that have been here forever know kind of what's going on with the iPad thing. But it's pretty neat. So we're going to be working. So I think for the next couple of weeks and for a while, we're going to start working on a graveyard. I got to get with Bonita because I need to order some foam. Best is I need to go order some XPS foam. 2 feet by 2 feet. So let's see, what is that? So 2 feet, like this. So this covers almost this whole board right here. So 2 feet by 2 feet. Basically covers this whole table. Might need to push the paints back because they won't fit otherwise. 2 feet by 2 feet. It's pretty big. So I might need to push the paints back to fit that. Because I think the idea right now is we're going to have the 4 factions graveyards. So we'll have the 4 factions graveyards with the vampires, the ghouls, the knights, and the ghost, like the ghosty horseman type guys. And it's going to be 2 feet by 2 feet graveyard on XPS foam. So we got to start building the graveyards. And I think that'd be a fun stream activity, is to start working on graveyards. Just because I think it's a good idea. Plus I want to do it, to be honest. So we're going to start getting in a bunch of basing materials and things like that to start working on a graveyard. So I might start working in the afternoons on the graveyards for ReaperCon. And the premise and the idea, I think the final numbers that we kind of settled on, I'm not 100% sure if this is 100% accurate, but there's going to be 4 common, 4 uncommon, 4 rare, and 4 legendaries. 1 for each faction. So if you can think of it, each faction has a common, uncommon, rare, and legendary. Tombstone, like graveyard tombstone. And you'll be able to get these at ReaperCon, doing things around ReaperCon and things like that. It's just a fun little activity. But it'll be fun to trade and get the faction graveyard tombstones and things like that. And people can decorate them and put them inside of these graveyards that we're going to be building here. So we're going to build all 4 of the graveyards, each one on a 2 by 2, 2 foot by 2 foot XPS foam thing. So that way, all we have to do is, like, when you bring your tombstone over to the graveyards, you can, like, put little spikes on them or something, or we can figure something out how they're going to stick into the foam, like, stick into the graveyards. So they just kind of slot into the big graveyards we're going to be building. But the cool thing is with chat, is you guys can help me kind of come up with the concepts of them, because I don't know which one we're going to work on first, but I think I kind of want to work on the night graveyard. So in my mind right now, I'm picturing like you know, the old fantasy, like Fallen Warrior kind of thing, where they like stick the sword in a a battlefield of swords, just a bunch of swords sticking out of the ground. And I think that would be cool. Like spears, you have like spears sticking out, like some banners, like some tapestry banners and things like that. So I think a graveyard that's like that, but also Lauren and Bonita mentioned a few ideas about the different themed graveyards, and for the nights it could have been like a campfire kind of scene. So I'm thinking about putting the campfire, what do you think, in the middle? Here, let me go get a pen and paper. I'll be right back. Let me get my trusty dusty notepad over here. And I have a bunch of bits and stuff that I got with like stone bricks and things like that. So just get a fire pit. We'll build a fire pit. And they'll progressively get more. So we have the 4 factions. So let's just say there's. Let me zoom in once here so we can see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I know it's probably, this is really blown out on white because of the light. But these are the 4 factions, right? And we have common, uncommon, rare, legendary. So there'll be 1 for each one. You know what I mean? And then we can look up, Kevin and them are going to sculpt all these, so I don't want to get too far into that. But I'm thinking we say this is the 2 feet by 2 feet, right? I know it's not a perfect square, but it's not a square, but you get what I'm saying. Should we put I kind of want to put the bonfire. Maybe there's like a big bonfire in the middle of the graveyard. So imagine this is the 2 feet by 2 feet, like this. And then we can just have swords, like, and spears and banners and stuff kind of, you know, sticking out randomly. But we need to leave space for people to have their tombstones, for people to put their tombstones. So we're gonna start. I guess we're gonna start figuring that out. Once I get the foam in, which should be later this week, we'll start messing around. We could put like big logs, like I was picturing like big logs that people are like can sit on for the main scene here, like that, and then fallen warriors and stuff all around the side. This is for the knights. Maybe like trees, like random trees on the edges. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So you see there's like a clearing with a tree line on the outside. That could be it for what it is. So I think that'd be fun to do. I want to look up some concept stuff for that and see what we can do. But I'm really digging this new microphone. I think it sounds pretty good from what I can tell. And the camera's pretty nifty too. Hopefully Ann likes it if she streams. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to zoom all the way out. I need to unravel this charging cable real quick. I'm excited for the graveyard idea. I think it's a fun idea. I already started cooking ideas for next year too, for the theme, which I really like. But we got to get past this ReaperCon first before I talk about next ReaperCon. So let's look up some concept art real quick. For like, I want to look up. Do you guys have a good site that you guys look at for concept art? Let me know if you guys have, or like just art in general. I know there's ArtStation and things like that, but I don't know if anybody else has anything. But I kind of want to look at like final or sword graveyard, like warrior. Let's see what comes up. Oh yeah, you can have like the helmet, like have the helmet sitting on the, like resting on the hilt of the sword. That should be pretty easy to do. Like this. Freya just says, I hang out in graveyards. Yeah, Google search have been poisoned by AI. You are 100% correct. Oh, yeah, I can get little birds. Oh, dude, we have these little crows. Oh, I can get crows. Oh, let me write this down. Stuff I need to grab. So, swords, spears, banners, crows, birds. I can take little bits and pieces. I can take some of maybe the cats. I can randomly put cats from Edna, the crazy cat lady. But it's this kind of idea is what I'm thinking for. The theming for this graveyard is kind of like this sword battlefield, sword graveyard kind of idea. I can get all kinds of different birds. Flowers. Blooming. We got to come up with lore. I kind of like this imagery of like the flowers. So flowers. Plants. Like, I know there's going to be like vines and stuff on the other ones because there'll be structures and stuff, but I like the idea of like the, there's that, what is that, the blood of the enemies and the blood of the battlefield and the bodies like nurturing the field so flowers grow. There's really not much field imagery here. Let's see. Field of Swords. Battlefield. Oh, rats. Yeah, that could be another graveyard, yeah. I think the ghouls, ghouls and stuff, the ghouls graveyard can have rats. But I think this is kind of what I'm provoking, or like, not provoking, invoking when I think about the battlefield, like the warrior battlefield. And the campfire. Yeah, like this. Oop. Why did that become so big? It's from ArtStation, so. Yeah. Like that. The Vamp Lady? Okay, cats for Vamp Lady. Cats for vampires. Do I have the 4 factions? I don't know if I have the 4 factions on here. Let me go find them, if I do. I don't think Ron gave them to me on here. I know I have them in my email. Yeah, I don't have them on here. All right, let me go grab them real quick. I'm gonna go grab them from my email, or I can just pull them up. Okay, let me save these. Save image. Save image. And we've seen the vampire lady. So we have her. You guys haven't seen the 4th one yet. Is that correct? So iPad X3. So this is the knights, the Kingslayer knights. Okay, Turgeon. Thank you. So the idea for the headstones is you'll, like, let's say when you come to registration, you'll get handed a random one. So if we stick to the numbers we have now, we will have 4, 8, 12, 16. 1 common for each faction, 1 uncommon for each faction, 1 rare, and 1 legendary for each faction. So you'll get a random one of those. And then when you go to Hobby Hijinks, when you enter the MSP, when you buy stuff from the store, like the booth, when you take a class, you'll randomly get a tombstone from doing those activities, right? And then I guess the goal is to try to collect them if you want, to collect them all, or find the one that you really want. But the idea, I think, is for people to paint them over the weekend and then bring them to the graveyards we're going to be building. And then you can add it to the graveyard. And then, so each graveyard, I think right now is planned to be a 2-foot by 2-foot little plot. And then for each faction. So each faction will have their own graveyard. And then you can go put it in whichever graveyard you want. And then I think the idea is at the end, they should all slot together. Like, I know they won't thematically be stick together, but they can, they're square, so they can kind of slot together to make one giant graveyard, but they'll be themed a little bit differently. That's the idea. But it just creates a cool little terrain piece that people can contribute to, which I think is very fun. Because I know Ludo did the skeletons for Ed's like summoning thing, his little ritual diorama that's going to be made. And they gave me the idea of the graveyard. And I think that's it's fun to like collaborate and do like a collaborative diorama. It's been one of my favorite things like that we've done recently, I think. And I think we're going to try to do it every year, I think, so far. But I just don't know how this is going to be the first time we're doing it like on a big scale at the full convention. So, yeah. If you, yeah, Kara. Yeah, I'll put you you can get a little skeleton figure and then I can make a little slot underneath the graveyard. Turgeon, yeah. English is writing and vocabulary is not my strong suit. But this is the knights. These are the ghouls. So, you can see in their concept art, they have like a tombstone on the right there, right here, that has this little crown, like brazier. It looks like a flame torch on it. But they have bones, so I figured there'd be a lot of bones. This is probably where the rats would go. Like you have a bunch of rats around it. This one's a little bit more swampy, I think, maybe. It's giving swamp vibes. Like we could have like little streams running through. Milado, yeah. Which one gets a crypt in the center? I think it would be these people. The vampires. I think the Vampire Queen and that graveyard would get the Colosseum. I think they would get like a big mausoleum type thing. We might use the crypt, like a couple of the crypts that we have. I think having like an actual more graveyardy type, like a traditional graveyard, if you will, for the vampires. And then the fourth faction you guys haven't seen yet is, I think the artwork's done. I'm not sure yet. Well, I'll ask Ron if he has it. But it's, they're like ghosts, but they're like, they have like a leader that's like riding on a horse. So he's on a ghost horse. He's like a commander. So yeah, they're like ghosts. So I don't know what to do with ghosts. I'm not sure. I have an idea of something that I kind of want to do, but it doesn't really fit with the warrior ghost type. So I don't really have the Barrow Downs wraiths. Yeah, they're kind of like wraiths. Yeah, they're like green. Think of like the Lord of the Rings in the mountain. Those guys. Wreaths. Yeah, they're wreaths. What happened to the cool Banshee lady? I don't have her concept art. Let me see if I do. Let me see if I have that. But I'll try to find it. I think it was I can't remember who put it in here. But she's still there, but she's not one of the factions. She is something different. She is like I think she's going to be a different model that's for sale, but she still pertains to the story and everything like that, but she's not like one of the factions. I think it's under Ron's folder. There she is. Found her. Here she is. So, but she's kind of that wraithy type. Hey, Copperhand. No, there's only one ghost faction. It's just I think this got drawn, and then Ron wanted something a little bit different for the faction, so he turned this lady into something different. But she's going to be, I think she's going to be a little bit larger scale of a model. Instead, not like a normal sized model. I think she's going to be like a larger, I wouldn't say bust, but because she's a full body, but it's, just a bigger sculpt, like a bigger print that's for sale. And I really like this aesthetic, me personally. When Ron showed it to me, I was like, wow, I really like this. Because it's giving me Astrologian from Final Fantasy XIV, like a seer, like a priestess, kind of with all the bells. Very ritualistic, that's what it's kind of giving me. Necromantic, like, kind of vibes. So, Druid Sophie-esque. Yes, like that Druid Sophie, and the convention Sophie. There's a 50mm version of her. I think that's 50mm. I have to look at the box, but that's the idea. I want to start working on these graveyards, but obviously I'm an amateur hobbyist, so I'll do my best to start. It'll be fun to just trial and error on stream, obviously, because I'm not the greatest, but I got this whole streaming setup. Might as well use it, right? I think she will be on a shirt, maybe. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But I think this is the model I'm most excited about. For ReaperCon, I really enjoy this. So there's that. Tap that. Oop. Some of Ron's old art. Let me see if there's anything else. So let's stick to the night graveyard here. So let's do like sword graveyard. That's just what I'm typing in to see what results come in. Okay, nothing too crazy here. There's not a lot on ArtStation for these. Campfire, like campfire. Ta-da. I like the idea of having the campfire. Either it could be like off in the corner. It could be like off in the corner of the graveyard, not in the center, but like over in the corner. Like that's like a little resting area. But they're like where you come to visit your fallen like brethren. Like you come to pay your respects and stuff, and then you can camp out there, like next to it. But I think it just fits that kind of aesthetic. So maybe some trees on the so you put some trees around the edge to create like a clearing, and then just a bunch of swords and banners and stuff sticking out of the ground. Logs for them to sit on. It's kind of like giving this kind of vibe almost. This is the kind of vibe I think to go with. Could put like could have a few horses or something. I don't know. I don't want to decorate too much, right? Because we need to have a spot for people to put their graveyards, right? So you don't want to I don't want to overfill it with stuff. I just kind of want to get that aesthetic down, right? The feeling of the faction, or kind of the idea. But hey, nice, Copperhand. Yeah, I know a lot of people have been messaging us recently about paint and takes and stuff. There must be a lot of conventions and stuff going on. I know we're getting close to summertime-ish, so there's a lot of events and things like that going on. But yeah, I'm glad this camera's working out, or not this microphone. I was really worried about it, but because I wasn't sure, because I'm doing something a little bit different. Normally, I take all of our sound and I put it through the sound mixer and things like that, and then put it into the streaming software. But this time around, I'm just going straight from the mic into the PC and then capturing it that way. So I'm not doing any like pre-faders and post things like that. It's just raw audio, so that has nothing on it at the moment. So I was curious as to how it was going to sound. But a lake. We could do maybe a lake on one side, like camp, and then like maybe a little shore. Not like, it's not much of the graveyard, but there's a little shore on one side to add a little bit of flavor. So there's like a little shore. I like that idea. See, I was thinking about adding a horse or two, like posted, like hooked around the trees. So I think that's how I'll do a little campsite. Okay, so that's the knights. And then for the vampires, more traditionally graveyards. Maybe somebody suggested cats for the vampires. And then for the ghouls, we have put a bunch of rats everywhere. Kind of make it very swampy, so you might have like little streams of like water coming through it. It looks muddy, so it'd be very muddy. But how do they? I guess we would need to come up with like. I guess it would matter about how they're. Like, I don't know the lore of how they bury their dead, or if they do. They probably don't bury them. So there's probably like skulls, like a lot of bones and skulls and skeletal stuff hanging around, because they use a lot of skeletal stuff in their weaponry and their jewelry. So I don't know the lore, but like fully, like I would have to go read it, but there's probably not a lot of lore about what they do with their dead and stuff. But they have a lot of bone iconography on their like person, their jewelry, their weaponry, and things like that. So I'm thinking like that. Where's the photos? So you can kind of see just by looking at it. See, they have all these like little jawbones and things sticking off. Piercings. They have piercings with the bone going through. The handle's made out of bone. They have skull. So I think a lot of bone stuff, like in there. He has like a crown made of bone, like jaws. So I think a lot of bone structures and things like that around their graveyard would be good. I think I can come up with some cool stuff, like especially because we have some big skeletons, so you can have like different sizes of skeletals and bones and things like that, like almost like elephant graveyard style. We could have like we have the manticore, like we have the manticore bones and things like that. Skeletal. I could put Caladrax in it. Like if I had Caladrax as like a main centerpiece, this guy, like half buried in the mud, like he's sinking. I think that'd be quite cool. So he's kind of half sinking as like a main thing. But then I was thinking of these things: the skeletal chimera, the skeletal owlbear, just for different shapes of bones and not just like human bones. Could have that. The minotaur that has like a good shape to it, like just the skull, like just the skull of this minotaur. The skeletal dragon's good, but yeah. All right, let's look at I know we have some sword packs, right? Sword. There's like a sword conversion. So we have the bones weapon pack. That'd be pretty good to stick some in. So if I take this, and I think this has some of these swords would be pretty good. to slot in. This spear, like sticking it staff side up, and then maybe adding some like ribbons, like get little ribbons and tie it to them. Kind of just adding to that. This has a bunch of stuff, so you can have like a shield leaning up against something, like a sword with a shield leaning up against it. Yeah, just a weapon graveyard. I think I like that a lot. That idea. Hammer, pile of stones, like with stuff sticking out. Yeah. So we can go ham on this weapon pack. Pretty easy to get all these swords and stick them in the ground. Spears. Let's see. I know we have some banners, some like bannermen, some like skeletal bannermen and things. So if I took his banner, so I think this banner is pretty iconic. This one down here. This one. But he's holding on to it. So I might have to like cut his arm off or something. Pretty brutal. This one's pretty iconic too. So has a lot of detail. So you can just get like a few of these and stick them in there. That's a good banner. Yeah, we have quite a few good ones. Oh, this one's really good. Take this. This one's on a spear from Kyra. And it has motion to it. Oof. Okay. I'm liking it. Yeah, we have pretty decent banners, so. And we even have the standards, the fantasy standard pack. Perfect. That fits perfectly, I think. Let's see, banners, flags. Mm-hmm. 77567. Oh yeah, this little goblin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. I hope you get better, Kara. Hope you feel better. Oh. And then for big swords, I can take the sword from this guy. Cut away his hand, like cut away his hand, and then stick this big sword sticking out of the ground. This is probably one of like the thicker swords that we have. This is really big, you know. It's a good sized sword. So, like I don't think we have a much bigger sword than that. Like how big it is. Oh, these two guys. Yeah, the fire giant swords would be awesome. Like, look at that. Oh. Might have to start cutting away and getting these swords ready. So, start gathering those up for the skeletal, or for the graveyard. They have some good swords. I wouldn't use very many. I would probably get one of each. Just kind of stick them randomly to give like height texture, because you don't want to have like a bunch of tiny swords, right? I mean, it would still look cool, but randomly throw in like these humongous swords in there. That's pretty awesome. We could take this fire from the hearth for the campfire. So that would be like our actual campfire piece. Yeah, the fire giant swords are awesome. I think those are the fire swords we'll use. Or not the swords, but, you know, we can add those in there as well. That's a cool, unique sword. Swords and spears and banners. And some shields, right? Those are going to be the theming of that graveyard. Really quick, Copperhand. At ReaperCon, when you do events, you'll get little tombstones, and each faction will have different like rarities of tombstone: common, uncommon, rare, and legendary, one of each. And then you'll paint or base that graveyard, bring it to, or that tombstone, and then bring it to the graveyards at ReaperCon, and then you'll be able to choose which graveyard you want your tombstone to go into, and you'll put it into the graveyard to be there forever with everybody else's tombstones. So you're going to help fill out the 2 foot by 2 foot graveyard. And each faction has their own graveyard. It's just kind of a fun thing to theme the graveyards for. Yeah. And then you can, like, once you paint like a common tombstone and you put it in the graveyard, you can keep all the other tombstones to take home like with you. So that's the idea. And then you want to trade, I guess. I guess the thinking behind the reason, hold on. I guess it's just to promote trading and things with all the attendees. Because let's say you get this faction's common and you get multiple of them, but you want this faction's common as well to like collect them, or if you want this one because you like it, you can go find somebody that is willing to trade that one for your extra common one. Or let's say you get really lucky and you get the legendary tombstones. Those are going to be quite rare. You kind of want to collect them. It's going to be pretty hard to find them, and then maybe you get 2 of the same one, and then you can trade it for somebody else's like extra one or something like that. So it's just going to be kind of a good way for you to kind of interact with the other attendees, and it kind of gives you a little bit of reward for participating in the events around the convention. My hope is that people will paint these and bring them to the graveyards. I guess I have a fear that they won't, that they'll just start collecting all the tombstones and they don't want to paint them or do anything with them to bring them to the graveyards. And then, but I guess in the end, I would still have this cool diorama, this graveyard diorama, to take photos with or use for videos or something like that. So in the end, it's not, the graveyards are still cool, even if they don't get used. But I guess that's my thinking is, you'll collect all these tombstones, and then if you have a little bit of extra free time, we'll have like a whole basing area at the base and take. So you can go sit down and put some vines on your tombstone, or, put some freehand on it, like rip so-and-so, or, for me, like, you would put somebody that passed away recently or in the past, like my mom or my dad, and then you'd put like their name on it. And so that way it's kind of immortalized in the graveyards. So I think it's just kind of a little bit of a cathartic thing as well, maybe. But it could also just be a cool little painting decorating activity for you to do. But yeah. What about a paint table by the graveyard? Ooh, yes. That is a good point. We haven't really talked about where the graveyards are going to go yet. But that is a good idea. Maybe we put it near the paint and take or something like that. I just fear having a little paint and take area that's not the paint and take, because then we have to have 2 areas. But it could just be the paint and take by the paint and take, I guess. Well, I'll talk about it this Wednesday in our meeting and see about where the graveyards are going to go and things like that. But that's the idea. That's the premise of it. So, I wonder how long this battery lasts. It probably lasts I think it lasts quite a bit. But, yeah. So, what else can we... I need to order, like, some basing things. What did Anne found a bunch of stuff. I gotta ask her when she's here, because she found something. Does anybody here remember? Were you guys in chat whenever she... it was like, cork board bits, or like broken pieces. She used a specific website. Cork bark bits. Cork bark bits. And then she ordered it like a big... Oh, yeah, there it is. And they come in like a bunch of different pieces and like crumbled up things used for like rocks and stuff. This is on Etsy. This one is. That's pretty big. These are too big for... Those bark bits are pretty big. So these are bark bits. I'm looking for like... This isn't exactly what I was looking for. Cork chips. It's kind of like this. Cork chips. I know she uses it for rocks and stuff. And the thing she found was like it had a bunch of cool little chopped up different irregular size pieces of bark. Or I mean of cork. Geek Gaming Scenics. Geek Gaming Scenics. Miniature basing. Do they have bulk options? Do we know? Mediterranean soil. Okay, yeah, it's a lot of cool little... Foam scatter. Okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah, so it's just little pre-mixed foam scatter stuff, foam pieces. I'm just looking at the colors real quick to try to give me an idea for the campfire, or for the knights with the sword battlefield area. I guess it could be like a mix between grass and dirt, like patches, so it's not like fully green. So you'd have to like mix in little dirt patches and stuff like that with little tufts of grass. Go get some of those grass tufts. So I just need to add a big list and order a bunch of stuff. Okay. I'll have to ask Ann when she's here. So I'll ask her on Thursday. Or go back in the VOD. She talks about it on stream, but I just can't remember which video it was on. But she found this really cool, like, little bulk, big pieces of cork that looked really good. So, yeah. What else? So we have the cork bits, which is pretty good. What else, too? I don't think there's much I need to get in the way of that. I know I'm going to get some tufts, some grass tufts and things like that. Leaves and vines. I have some leaves already. Yeah, I think that's it. I just got to order the pink boards, and then we're good to go. And I start working on it. And for the swamp, I have... we have foam cutters, so I can get the foam cutters out and carve away like the streams and stuff. And then I can ask some pointers from Lord Dave and do some like resin, do like a little liquid resin stream, like a couple of little streams like in and out, like coming from one side. So maybe on theirs it could be raised up a little bit. So like the water's going like this direction. So it'll stop in one corner. So it'll start in one corner. This is for the ghouls. So for the ghouls, it'll start in one corner, like elevated. So this is their graveyard, right? And it's more elevated up here, and then the water comes down and then splits, like in the middle, like that. So then it's kind of into three. It's like built into three different sections, kind of, but it's raised up over here, so it's a little bit taller on this side, and then we can carve away. And so it's kind of built on like a little slope, but it's like a little bit more muddy. There's rocks and there's bones everywhere, so that could be their idea. But yeah, I'm really happy about how the microphone turned out, and the camera. Pretty pleased. Been messing around with all kinds of different cable setups and lighting setups, and I think I've settled on something that's pretty decent. Pretty good overall. Because you can get like all the way up in here. Like when you want to show it off or like look at it, you can get pretty close. And this is not zoomed in. Like, I mean, it's fully zoomed in, but it's not like digitally zoomed in at all. So you can get some pretty good close-ups. But I'm also going to be using this for filming, I think, for videos. Because I'm working on a history, like not a history, but a material guide. I'm working on a material video. And it's going to probably talk about like the pros and cons of the different materials and the history of the materials and why we did them and what the future is and all that stuff. It's kind of like an over-encompassing video of all the materials. So having a setup like this will also help with like demonstrating like all the different materials up close for B-roll and things like that. And like, you know, cutting away, like talking about how things are more fragile and rigid. Just kind of B-roll shots of when I'm doing the voiceover talking about the different stuff. Are you going to use insulation foam boards? I think I'm going to use the big XPS foam, I think. 2 feet by 2 feet. I think 2 inches thick. I think 2 inches thick is pretty good because then you can carve some away if you need to. But it's also a little bit more sturdy because they're going to be pretty big. So, yeah, just pink XPS foam. Probably prime it. You know, just prime it all black or whatever. And then go from there. So you don't see any pink coming through. Probably brown. But you know how it is. But yeah, start working on the graveyards on this stream, probably. This is probably what we'll be doing here. Maybe I'll paint a little bit. Who knows? Yeah, the 2-inch foam is pretty good. It's going to be pretty good to work with. But it's also because whenever we get the graveyards and we want to give people the graveyards, it'll be nice to be able to stick them into the foam, like to be stuck. Half-inch? I just figured the half-inch would be a little bit too thin, like a little bit too floppy, you know? I think the 2 inch is nice because it'll help hold its shape, especially once we start adding stuff to it, and it'll be easier to transport. I think, me personally, but I'm not sure. So that's the idea. And obviously, I am a newbie when it comes to terrain building and things like that, but I think this will be fun to learn. And I can get Kevin to help me and stuff too, but because he's the experienced one. I just got to swing by Home Depot and buy us some foam. So we'll see. Ta-da! Probably start wrapping it up here soon, but thanks for hanging out. I mean, I probably won't leave yet, but still want to mess around with some stuff. But this was just primarily to test this new microphone, which I really like, and to show you the streaming setup. Yeah, I'm not super happy with the screens. Like, I have 3 screens right now. So you can see this one on the bottom right, this one right here. This is so I can see myself and like what's in focus and what's on camera, and it has buttons for me to press to switch the cameras and things like that. This one is for whenever I want to look stuff up. So like I'm on Discord, you know, pulling up Discord, finding people's, looking through. We can look at whips and show what people are working on. So that's what this camera is for. But, it doesn't need to be there all the time. It just needs to be kind of within reach, which I think is okay. So that one's not too bad. And then I have chat right here, but I need to move it so it's a little bit more natural. Because right now when I have to read chat, I have to do this. And I'm like looking over here. So I need to put chat somewhere a little bit better, probably up and out of the way. I'm probably going to get a little arm to attach it to the table so it like sticks up above the paint and everything. Same thing for the monitor screen. No, the monitor screen needs to be here. But the problem I have is that it's blocking the paint. So I can show you. Where's the camera? Oh, it's on the bottom. So like that camera, this screen is blocking that side of the paint. So I can't grab the paint on the bottom. But this camera, the one I'm holding, is normally sitting right there. So it's kind of blocking a little bit of these paints right here. So I'm trying to get it to where no screens are blocking the paint. But I have chat right here, which is not the greatest, right? So you can see. But I'm thinking about putting it up there, like attaching it to this black thing. So it's kind of hanging right here. So chat is like right next to the camera. And then this screen I'm holding doesn't really need to be super like in the way. It can go over here to the left because I only need to grab it whenever I'm looking at Discord or looking at like references or pulling up stuff and talking about things that are online. So that's kind of cool. But also check out this camera quality. Gray Mouser, this all your own stuff? No, this is all Reaper stuff. So stuff that I've been using for a while here at Reaper. The only thing that's new that I have is this camera, or this microphone. That's the only thing I've bought recently. It's a good idea. Put the second tablet in research Discord. Yeah, this one, the one I'm holding. This one right here. Put it on an arm so I can like swing out of the way. That's a good idea. You've bought that I've purchased. The camera quality on this is pretty good though. Like on this new iPad, the lighting is not great right here, but like the camera is pretty nice up close. I was thinking about getting using it as like a palette cam, like having it arm mounted like this above the palette, the wet palette and stuff. Over on the over here on the right, because I'm assuming Anne will have it on the right, or most people that paint put their palette on the right. If they're right-handed, they normally put their wet palette or wells on the same dominant hand, obviously, so you can reach over. So it's pretty good in that aspect. But having it on this little retractable arm here so it can sit. But it's also nice to be able to like pull things up pretty close. Like it looks pretty good. Oh, let me do it this way. I mean, it's pretty decent. I don't hate this camera at all. But, yeah. Whee! Ta-da. And then this is how I like pull up Twitch and stuff to see when we do our raids and stuff to see who's on. But yeah, I gotta fill these up with water for Anne. I don't know what else she needs. I got my filing sticks. I don't think we have we might have a wet pellet. I gotta go grab it. But yeah. These are brand new iPads too, so that's why the camera's so good. No, Anne will be here. Anne will be here for about a week. So she's visiting later this week. She's flying in, and she'll be here. The plan was for her to stream from in here, but I don't know if she's gonna have a lot of time to stream, so she might not. I know she'll probably be on Reaper Live. She'll probably be on Reaper Land. But I don't know if she's gonna have time to sit down and paint. But I just wanted to take time to build this setup and have it here because, you know, for videos and things like that. Need to start shooting some advertising things, and it's just nice to have it set up. I've been wanting it for a long time, and we got it. This is my excuse to start painting and start building stuff on stream, so it's kind of a good excuse. But I feel like we needed one in the building. Yeah, and uses a well, so I don't know if we have any here. I'll go ask. Daryl. Daryl might have an extra one. But really awesome camera. Let me double check. I'm gonna unmute the audio so I can hear it.
Let me double check. I'm gonna unmute the audio so I can hear it. Let me double check.
It's pretty loud.
It's pretty loud.
On the iPad at least. Is the audio loud to you guys? Like, am I really loud? I would like to do more studio fun time in the future. But I'm really unpredictable. For me, personally. If we had other people that were here that wanted to come on, like if Bonita wanted to come on and work on the graveyards, or if somebody wanted to come in and paint, you know, the studio's here, so it's available. Like, let's say Michael Janae wanted to come in, or Kara's, maybe she has a free day or something and she wants to come paint. That's kind of what this is for. I would like to use it every day if possible, but, you know, with me, sometimes I have a bunch of molds that need to be made, so I'm in mold making, or if casting is really slammed, I have to go to casting. So I'm just not 100% like thumbs up, good to go every day. So it's kind of like a up and down, not a consistent thing for me because of all the other stuff. But, you know, I just wanted to have this so it's here for when we need to use it. Yeah, I forget that it's on my hat. So whenever I'm doing this, I'm going away to like move my hair out of the way and stuff. So I forget that my mic is on here. But the reason I want to put it on my hat is because of my beard. So I think here, let's do this. So if I took the mic and I put it on how I'm supposed to wear it, like this. the sound. I don't know what it sounds like, but I can tell my beard will scratch against it. I don't know what the quality is like with that. Let me see. I don't know what the quality is like with that. Let me see. I don't know what the quality is like with that. Let me see. Okay, yeah, you can kind of hear it scratching. Let me see about noise cancellation and see what happens there. All right, I turned on noise cancellation. So let's see. Let's see if it can pick up the. Let's see if it stops that. Let's see if it can pick up the. Let's see if it stops that. Let's see if it can pick up the. No, still hear the beard a little bit. But I think if I just sit a little bit still. Still hear the beard a little bit. And I'm not doing that. I think if I just sit a little bit. So it doesn't sound much different to me. Yeah. The hat for me is better. But if I was somebody else, like if I was anybody else that didn't have a beard, I think clipping it to the shirt is fine. But with the beard, it is a little bit, you know, because I know that when I start painting or if I'm building something, I know I'm gonna have to like tuck my head. So the microphone is like all the way. It has a noise cancellation with natural noise cancellation. And you know, I like this mic because now it's not wired. I don't have to put a thing in my pocket with a wired thing to it. It's pretty nice. I think it's going to also be nice because it connects to your phone pretty well. So whenever I'm filming on my phone, I can have two people wear these. It's pretty nice. And this is pretty good because it's aiming straight down. So it's picking up my voice right here. Otherwise, the other one has to go around my beard and stuff like that. So the other thing is I can attach this or like put it somewhere on the table. Or I can attach it somewhere so it just stays still. But it seems to pick up pretty good. I don't know how far away it needs to, like it can be. I know the transmitter can be 300 meters away is what it says. I don't know how good that is, but I don't know how the distance and how good it is at picking audio up, but we'll test all that stuff later. And even if I wanted to hide it a little bit, I can put it on the side maybe, like over here, like a little bit further back, so it's not so far. That's probably a little bit worse, huh? But like visually wise, you can still see it. You can see it pretty bad right there, but you can still hear me, I think. Let me see. You can still hear me. It sounds pretty good, in my opinion. But whenever I film videos, like on my phone and stuff, I don't know. I'll probably wear it like this. Ta-da! I'm excited. It's pretty cool to have this. I also have I'm trying to gather as much stuff here because over the years there's been a lot of stuff here. Like there's wire cutters, foam cutters. There's a bunch of random basing stuff. Like I have this huge stack of magnets right here that I can use to put stuff together. So big stack of magnets. Ta-da! And it's just random stuff. But I kind of want to slowly start building this out. Another thing is I want to try a different camera angle for a wide camera somewhere. Because this is as far as this goes, this camera. This is as wide as it goes. Like out. It doesn't go much wider than this. But I would like a shot maybe up here that shows the full table in all its glory. So that way when we're in transitions or we're waiting for something to dry or we're working on something big or something like that, I kind of want just a big wide shot up here. That's fine, Copperhand. Yeah. I don't have it set up for two people, but it can easily fit two people, but I need to work on, actually, I think I could with this one camera. Move in a second chair. You can definitely put two people in here. Or just have you on camera if you want to. Just go full cyborg and have it mounted on your neck or forehead. Hey, Captain MC Camper. What's up? Hey, Studio J7. What's up? Oh, thanks for the raid. I just saw. Thanks for the raid, hey, everybody. When did you raid? How long did I miss that? Oh, thanks for the raid. Sorry, I got distracted. I did buy this harmonica holder. Hold on, let me go grab it. I don't want to, because I was trying to. Everybody knows CNOT, right? The sculptor here on Twitch. He uses our harmonica holder for his camera. Oh, sorry. Thanks for the raid. Thanks for the raid. Yeah, normally we're not streaming right now, but I'm testing out new microphones and new cameras and stuff, setups. But he uses this harmonica holder. Not this one, but you know what I mean? And he puts the camera right here. And he has it a little bit lower. So when he's painting, or no, when he's sculpting and stuff, the camera sees the whole background. And then, he's sculpting and stuff right here. But he has it dialed down to his likeness. So I'm worried it's gonna be kind of hard because the camera's right here in front of you for you to paint as well, because it's blocking your view. So it's pretty daunting. It's pretty difficult to have a camera on this harmonica holder, because it's right here. He might have a smaller one and he adjusts it to be a little bit lower so he can see over it, and then he still picks up right here in front of him. So, but that requires you to not be moving around a lot and things like that. You have to be kind of still for the most part. And so when you're moving though with your hand, you can see it's bouncing right here. So that I don't know. Yeah. So this is the harmonica. I don't know. It's worth trying, but it's definitely that's definitely unique to him. And so I got it just to try it, just to see, but I don't know about that. I do like this lens. I do need to see if I have different lenses, and so painting on camera, I think, will be pretty decent, especially because of once we get everything dialed in, we have the zooms. And then we can get in here. So, once it's going and we're showing things off, I think once you get used to it, especially because just out of my eyesight, I can see that I'm in frame. So, I'm looking at the model. I'm painting, an area, and I can just kind of glance over with my eyes on just slightly to the right, and I can see that I'm in focus and that I'm in frame. So that kind of helps. So it's just right there. So that's really nice. And then you can just reach over and push the buttons, and then you can zoom in and out on whatever models we're working on. And so, yeah, we can. And then if I need to, I can get up and close to show it off. Ooh, pretty good. I mean, it's pretty nice. It's pretty neato. I have to get Anne's feedback when she's here. If anything, I'll get her feedback. Even if she doesn't stream, I'll ask her to come in and take a gander before she leaves. Because I know she uses IP, but she has a completely different setup than what I use here. Trying to paint on camera, yeah. But obviously it's easier on these bigger models. That's why I've been using this tiny model as an example to try to get framing right. Because most likely you'll be painting on a smaller model like this, on average. So, it's pretty good. And I know Anne doesn't really look a lot of the time when she's painting at her feedback, at her screen, because her screen is up. She has to lift her head up to look. But with the iPad, it's really nice because it's eye level. It's kind of below eye level, so I don't have to like glance up. I can just kind of glance with my eyes over to see, keep my hands still. It's pretty nice. I mean, I rather enjoy it. I think I'll like it as I'm painting. And this is just one zoom in, I think. So I can go back out one. Yeah. And then zoom two to get, yeah. It is slightly a little bit blurry. But I think if you, there we go. You can kind of get in there if you need to. Got to clean up some supports right here on this one. But let's go back to main, and then getting up there, you can kind of see pretty good quality overall. Happy with the new mic though, super nice. I've been wanting them for a while. They're kind of newer from Hollyland, so I wanted to test them. So I'm super excited for them. It's a little bit of an upgrade from the labs that we have, so don't have to worry about that. Sanding sticks. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's about it. Is there anybody on to raid? Thanks for the raid studio. I know that you guys joined in not too long ago, but we were talking about graveyards and ReaperCon stuff and doing a little bit of planning and things like that while I go get some foam to build some graveyards. But testing out new camera, lens with microphone to make sure everything worked, make sure all my buttons worked. I like the angle so far. Still got to work on iPad situation, but it's gonna be pretty nice painting station. I also plan on having a airbrush set up in here somewhere. Probably, I don't know where. we can have it set up somewhere. It's a lot of cameras. But I guess we can just use a handheld camera, like a iPad, if we're going to do the airbrush, and just turn it on and move over to the airbrush area when we're going to be airbrushing. So it doesn't need to be there all the time. So that's good. Good fair point. What am I doing to the graveyard? I don't know. I still got to get the foam and everything like that. I'm gonna start gathering all the swords and the banners and the spears and all that stuff, gathering them up, which is not too difficult. Just got to go over there and cast them probably, and find the models and take their swords off. Start prepping them. I should be able to swing by Home Depot on my way home tomorrow, or I can get them before I come into work. What time does Home Depot open? I guess I gotta find out, but I'll probably swing by Home Depot and grab the foam before coming into work sometime earlier this week, and then I'll start working on them in the afternoon. Because Ann and stuff will be streaming, and I think my thinking is that Ann is always probably going to stream in the morning, and then we have some random stuff that happens, like with Rhonda on Mondays, and then we have Luca later this week. But like the other days when I have some downtime to be able to come in here and paint and do some hobby stuff. So this is going to be our hobby section of the stream over here, and I think that'd be fun just to mess around every day doing stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, Captain. The Sleeping Beauty we have a painted model. I wonder if it's on the website. Is it? Yes. So that's one of my favorite models on the website. In our gallery here at Actual Reaper, we have a big gallery with all the painted models, and this is one of my favorite painted models done by Meg Maples, and she did that sheer effect, and it looks amazing in person, but with that sheer cloth, and it's incredible in person. So. Oh, you're trying to make it look like marble, like the actual bed itself, like what she's laying on. Yeah, that's fun. I think I've seen people do the marble effect with dryer sheets, I think if you put, like, if you drape a dryer sheet over it and then, like, spray paint black or paint black over it, and then when you peel it off, or you dip it in it and then you, like, lay it over it, it creates that marble effect. Hey, green users. Maybe green users can, we can do some green stuff sculpting on the stream. Ooh. I can, go get some green stuff and try my hand at that. I've been wanting to try cosplay, because I know, you know, I watch CNut Bush all the time, and he uses cosplay, and I figured cosplay would be fun to do some things, like, that are pretty easy for me, because I'm a beginner. But I don't have a way to cure it here. Like, we don't have an oven to cure it here. I would have to take it home and cure it. But, yeah. I wonder if I can use the vulcanizers. I don't know. I'll have to ask. Oh, it's all marble. Like, everything. That's cool. Like a statue. Like, yeah, like a marble statue. Hey, Ozil. How's it going? Yeah. When you visit a city, stop at a local game store. Awesome. If you're ever in town, I do tours. So if you're ever around, I do the tours of Reaper Miniatures. So if you want to come by and see the factory and all that stuff, just send us an email and I'll get you scheduled. Oh, you can do it in a toaster oven. I think we have one here. But yeah, if you're ever in town, I do the tours. So come on down. I have a bunch of tours scheduled in the next, like, month and a half or so. I just gave a tour from people from Poland. People came over from Warsaw, Poland. They brought over some Polish beers and things like that. It was pretty cool. Let's see. Michael sent me. Oh yeah, yeah. Is Michael still here? I got your message, Michael. That's a good idea. Let's see. No, Anne won't, or, you know, most people that are going to be streaming here won't wear a hat, so I don't think I need to tilt this camera at all. It's just me sitting up a little bit forward. You can kind of see a hat poking in the front. But if I'm sitting up straight and I'm, like, have my elbows on the table and then I'm going to paint, I'm kind of out here in the front, and then when you zoom in, you really can't tell because my hat's, like, right there. So it's not too bad. I just have to sit up straight, which is fine. Sometimes you want to shrimp, though. You want to be hunched over. But yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna be back up there for work in the middle of July. Middle of July. It's close to my birthday, Copperhand. Ozil, I'll be in Dallas in July with my wife. She has a conference down there. I may try to get something scheduled while we're in town. Of course. July's pretty open for the most part. Yeah, just email me. tours@reapermini.com. That's tours with an S. So, tours@reapermini.com. And just let me know the date and the time you want to come tour. Just let me know. No, our con is, this year it's at the end of August, beginning of September. But I think it's August 27th through the 31st this year. Labor Day weekend. So, is that Labor Day weekend? Yeah, Labor Day weekend. Labor Day weekend. I believe it's August 27th through the 31st. Speaking of which, tickets go on sale next Monday for classes. Classes and games and all that stuff open up next Monday, the 5th. So I'm going to make an announcement tomorrow. First thing I get into work, you guys will see an announcement from me online in the news section and all that stuff about tickets going on sale on the 5th. Yep, it's the same as Dragon Con. We've had ReaperCon on Labor Day weekend the past 7 years, I think now. It used to be in October, and then I think at some point it was in April. I can't remember. I've been here for 15 years and it's changed a few times, but the past 7 years I think it's been Labor Day weekend. Been wanting to come out to one in Texas. I mean, ReaperCon's fun. It's a family. I say it's a family reunion. It's a smaller convention. It's nothing like Adepticon or Gen Con or anything like that. It's on the smaller side, but it's still a great time. It's about 2,000 people on average, and it's a fun time. It's not too crowded. There's a lot of space, a lot of activities, a lot of fun hanging out, a lot of nighttime activity. It's a very social convention, so it's easy to make friends and hang out. If you want, you can take a lot of classes. A lot of people come, and if you're able to, get a lot of classes. A lot of people come and take a bunch. Some people take a few here and there and then hang out with everybody else. It's just a fun time. Plus the MSP, the paint contest, is always a good time. I love the MSP paint contest. It is also dog friendly, so a lot of people bring their dogs. So Zeus will be there, our store dog. So yeah. Yeah, a lot of people I've never taken a single class, but I mean, I've worked ReaperCon, so I don't really have time to. But I know people that don't take classes at all. So a lot of people just come to enter the MSP painting contest. Some people come to play Hobby Hijinks. There's Blood on the Clock Tower. There's RPG games, so you can just sign up for a bunch of D&D games if you want, or everything is open painting, so a lot of people just come to hang out and paint. It's a very relaxing con. There's no we don't have a lot of seminars and panels and talks and things like that. Just a lot of fun painting events, especially with Hobby Hijinks and things like that. So yeah, and then we'll have the graveyard thing this year. That's what I've been working on. That's kind of what I'm going to start working on stream. The whole graveyard idea. We'll see. Copperhand says, my buddy and I will be running 2 4-hour D&D sessions. 2 4-hour D&D. Have you input them already? I know they probably haven't been scheduled, but yeah, 2 4 hours. That's pretty common, right? That's what most people do. 4-hour sessions. I know Haldir put in his games, so he'll be running games. And then Joseph Wolf is going to be running all of his Dungeon Dweller stuff, as well as a few of the other guest DMs that are going to be running Dungeon Dwellers. So I would expect Dungeon Dwellers to be a big focus at ReaperCon this year, I think, especially because of the Kickstarter fulfillment and all that stuff. So I think you'll see a lot of Dungeon Dweller stuff at ReaperCon this year. And maybe some stuff that Anne's working on. That she might talk about when she's here. So yeah. All right. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll probably be on tomorrow. I'll probably swing by Home Depot and start gathering stuff, and we can start plotting out some graveyard stuff. So yeah. Let's see who's on for the raids. Where's Twitch? There it is. Where's the clock? It's 5:30 already? It's closing time. Hey, Askren's on. Kana Minis. Steve Sketches. Let's see. Steve's on. We can raid Askren. He's the one that did all the faction art. So he did all the faction art for us. The ones that I showed earlier off in the stream. So let me get his it's really hard to grab the Twitch name on here. There. All right. Got it. Yeah. Well, thanks for swinging by. Thanks for the raid. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for letting me test this new microphone. That was my main goal today, was testing this to make sure it worked. And yeah, I might get the high camera angle set up tomorrow if I get a chance. But we'll start working on the graveyards, I think. That's going to be our thing. But yeah. thanks for just dropping in. I know it was random. Most of these studio streams will be random probably for a while, but they'll always probably be in the afternoon. 2, 3 o'clock. Generally, that's if they do start, that's when they'll start. So nothing super official right now. Just testing and hanging out. But yeah, go tell Oscar and I said what's up. I know he's excited. He's seeing all of his artwork for ReaperCon and stuff like that. He did an amazing job. So yeah, thanks everybody. And thanks Studio for the raid. But yeah, have a good rest of your Monday. I hope it gets better. Hope you have a good week. Bye. I don't have an outro screen or a beginning screen for this, so I'm just going to start the raid and then go turn the stream off. I'll get a opening and closing eventually, so bye.